Thank you for joining us today for the Sandhills Dealers and Auctioneers Onboarding webinar. Getting started with Express. I'll be your host today. My name is Zach Siciliano. I'm the Head of Partnerships here at Currency Capital. And I'm joined by Julie Lim, our Marketing Specialist. Julie will be fielding all questions throughout the webinar, in addition to the question and answer form at the end. Julie?
Hello, everybody. I'm Julie. Please submit all of your questions to the right-hand side in the Q&A portion, and we will be answering them throughout the presentation.
Start with the agenda. We'll give you an overview of Currency Capital and our finance platform, Express. We'll tell you a little bit of who we are, why Express, how to refer your buyers to Express, and then ultimately what the Express experience looks like and how it works. So let's start talking a little bit about currency and the Express Finance platform. Express is a product of Currency Capital. And since 2001, Currency has been revolutionizing the equipment finance industry with leading technology that helps your buyers get the financing that they need and helps you, the seller, sell more equipment. Currency's funded business borrowers with over $700 million, and we're partnered with some of the biggest names in equipment sales today. Currency is also the founding sponsor of CEMC, the Commercial Equipment Marketplace Council. So let's talk a little bit about Express and the Express Finance platform. Express is the fastest and simplest, most reliable way for your buyers to finance equipment. Once your buyer's information is submitted, the Express engine quickly compares their credit profile to over 40 different lenders' credit boxes to find and identify the best deal for them. Then, the Express team's account managers will jump into action. We'll contact the buyer to discuss their needs, the financing options which are available to them, and any unique requirements they or their deal may have. Once a finance option is settled on, the deal is then pushed into our underwriting and funding team to sign and execute agreements, collect docs and stipulations, and then ultimately send the funds to you, the seller. This entire process, on average, takes 1 to 3 days. So why Express? Let's talk about the advantages of Express. We have an expansive credit box. As we mentioned earlier, we're able to compare the borrower's credit profile up against the credit boxes of 40 different lenders, which enables us to approve more buyers for financing and approve them at higher amounts, enabling them to purchase more of your equipment and ultimately have more buying power.
So, Zach, it seems we have our first question here. The question is, what is your minimum credit score required?
Pardon me. So it's going to vary due to numerous factors such as business start date, equipment type, things of that nature. But generally, we can work with credit scores, any credit scores, 550 or higher. Availability is another big advantage. The Express Finance platform is available for your salespeople, you and your buyers to submit applications for financing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can submit any time of day or night, which means that the ability to access funds while they're there at your dealership is significantly greater. Accessibility. So not only can they access it any time, day or night, but you can access the Express Finance platform from just about any device. iPhone, Android, tablet, iPad, so any mobile device, as well as desktop and laptop, Apple or PC. Increased profits. Your dealership has the opportunity to generate finance income on the funded borrowers, which you refer to the Express platform. Easy management. You can monitor your Express pipeline of deals from the same Sandhills cloud portal that you use to manage your web traffic and calls. Here's the example. So if you go and you click on the Express icon there in the Sandhills cloud, it'll take you to the Express application pipeline. And there you'll have the item or the machine information there, as well as the amounts requested, where they are in the sales and funding process, that third column, and then last but not least, an Express application ID number. And then last but not least, trustworthy. One of the big advantages of Express is we're a trusted finance partner of Sandhills Publishing, and we finance deals over $700 million for businesses much like your customers all across the U.S. Express at the point of sale. How your buyers can be referred to Express. Your sales representative can offer your buyers the Express finance option at the point of sale or at the time of auction. Once submitted, an Express financing account manager will once again contact the buyer. And if the buyer is interested, your sales representative can fill in the finance form with the buyer on behalf of the buyer straight into the form.
So Zach, it seems we have another question. This one is, I have my own finance department. What if I don't want to use Express?
The goal of Express is not to displace your existing finance department or process. It's to make it easier for them. Express can help support your finance department should you have little options for some buyers. With our wide credit boxes, we can help you close and fund more business and sell more equipment. So let's talk a little bit about two different approaches. The first is referring buyers to Express through the Finance tab on your homepage or during the registration for an auction on your website. The second is the sales representative suggesting Express at the point of sale to your buyer and submitting through the Express application on the Sandhills cloud. We're going to show you the two examples of this. In the Finance tab on your site, your salesperson can refer the buyer, borrower to that tab. They can go through, access the application, fill it out themselves, or your sales representative can fill it on behalf of them or with them. The second is accessing the application through the cloud. So you'll notice there your Express application is located on the third page, unless you've already moved it to the front. What we want to stress here is that when you have a buyer at the point of sale that needs financing, when submitting them to Express, you do it in one of these two ways. You either submit them via the Finance tab here or through the Sandhills cloud. What this enables us to do is identify that that's a buyer who is at the point of sale and needs a decision and a response ASAP. So we prioritize the applications that are coming through these two sources, either the Sandhills cloud or the Finance tab on your site, as being a real live customer that's in your dealership that needs an answer immediately and needs the funding process or the loan process to happen in real time. So please, it's imperative at the point of sale you submit an application in one of these two fashions. Express 101, how it works. Here we're going to go through a step-by-step guide to using Express we're going to walk you through the consumer experience in the application form. And please, as questions arise, make sure that you ask them there on the right. So first, online submission. We're going to follow the simple step-by-step instructions on the web page and walking you through the application. First question on the form, what's the amount requested? How much do you need to finance?
So Zach, we have another question here. It is, what is the minimum and most you can finance?
So generally, $2,500 to $5 million. Now, there's going to be deals that fall outside that yes, we can do, but for the rule of thumb, $2,500 to $5 million is the range in which we lend. So the next question is identifying whether the loan is for business or personal use, right? One of the things I'd like to call out here, if you're submitting in your ag deal and you're submitting on behalf of a farmer, please keep in mind, even though they're classified more so along the lines of a sole prop, we consider that a business and we lend to it as a business, and we look at the loan purpose as being business. So for agricultural purposes or farm purposes, make sure that the borrower is aware that they fill out that they're a business or farm, or if you're doing it on their behalf, that your sales rep does so. And we ask the borrower's first and last name and the business's name, best number to reach the borrower at, as well as an email address. And it's imperative that this is the borrower's information because we will be contacting them to discuss the intricacies of the deal. We then ask equipment type and industry type.
So we have another question here. So this one is, can you finance older trucks?
Yes, we can finance older trucks, but there must be at least 2 years' time in business with 2 other trucks in the fleet. No age requirement if the borrower meets this criteria. If they don't meet the criteria, the age requirement will be 10 years. We ask the legal structure of the business.
So we have one more question about that. It is, can you finance owner and operators?
Yes, we can finance owner-operators, but they must qualify with credit, truck age, and time and business requirements. Startup business is okay. We ask for the business address, time and business questions, month and year, total income of the business and the average bank balance, what percentage of business does the applicant own, and then last but not least, social security number. Upon submitting, they get a thank you page, explains to them the next steps. One of our reps will be contacting them to discuss the deal. Upon that submission, you, the dealer and auctioneer, will receive a notification email from us letting you know that your customer has applied for financing. Now, if they come in off the site on their own, you get the notification email. We highly recommend that you dial out to that borrower/buyer immediately. It's a live sales lead on that piece of equipment. We also notify the borrower via email that we've gotten their application and what the next steps coming are going to be. So after the application is submitted, we jump into action. Our account manager contacts the borrower discussing the lending needs and options. Then the customer is matched. The customer is matched or the borrower is matched to the appropriate finance instruments. Moves into our funding team, we sign the agreements, and the funds are then transferred.
So we have a question for this segment. It is, can you do annual payments?
Yes, absolutely. We have annual payments, semi-annual, quarterly, and monthly payment structures. And then once all this is done, the deal is funded, you, the dealer, receive revenue from the portfolio finance deals. And this brings us to the question and answer portion of the webinar. I think that as we see, some questions are rolling in. Julie, if you would.
Okay. The first question we have is, do I have a dedicated rep handling my account?
We have a dedicated team handling all applications that you as a Sandhills dealer submit. We do have the ability to assign a dedicated rep should you need and request it.
So I want to quickly mention that we will try to answer as many questions as possible, but if we do not get to your question, we will follow up with an email, so please do not hesitate, keep submitting your questions. So the second one that we have is, what is your rate sheet?
Our rates are, they're going to start at, bank rates, right? So our rates start at right around 4.9% for well-qualified buyers, and they'll go up from there based on credit.
Great. And then now the third one is, how fast do you fund?
As I said before, generally on average 1 to 3 days. We have funded dealers as quick as the same day, but the typical funding time is 1 day from receiving signed contracts and all necessary documentation and steps.
Great. And the next one is, what's in it for us?
That's a great question. What's in it for you as a Sandhills dealer? Partnering with a commercial lender like Currency, with over 25 years of equipment financing experience and the ability to work with such a wide credit box, it's going to enable you to sell more equipment, right? I mean, it's simply there. Your buyers are going to have more buying power, and they're going to be able to purchase via the finance things that they wouldn't were not available to them. In addition to that, as we already mentioned, there's a revenue generating opportunity for your business as well. So we'll also pay you 1% incentive on all deals that you submit through us that end up funding. So you have the opportunity to sell more because of the financing, and you have the ability to participate in the revenue that's generated off of the financing.
So we have time for one more question, but I want to encourage everyone to keep sending in your questions. And as mentioned before, we will get back to you via email. So the last one for today is, how can I submit application to you directly?
As we said earlier, we highly recommend, actually it's imperative, that you submit applications to us directly through either the Finance tab on your site or the dealer portal on the cloud. Those are really the two best ways. In addition, you can always submit an application to us by calling at 1-833-520-7672. Once again, that number is 1-833-520-7672. We want to thank you for joining us today. We look forward to the opportunity to finance more of your buyers and help you sell more equipment. Should you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact us at sandhillsdealerhelp@currencycapital.com or at 833-439-6478.
And I want to remind everyone that if you attended today, the slides for the presentation as well as this webinar will be available to you, and we will be emailing them to you shortly after.
Have a great day.
Thank you.